It used to be a time when we were fine, living life with no particular religious bent, pretending to be our own gods and fitting our own systems of beliefs so as to not depend anything other than our own self-governing consent, defending an impending doom with no perceived need to conceive or repent, assuming our innocence in a sense of sin. The sting of death was only the inevitable end of everything we could never rightly understand or comprehend. It's severely unknown till God made himself known in atonement, mending the relationship between God and man. His life was a ransom for many when he died innocent, and then at one event the certainty of eternal death was circumvented, leading the way for the day when history stops and time suspended, spending eternity in fellowship that never ends. We see the greatest expression of God's love extended in that moment when those who were once enemies instead became God's friends. It's my time to go ahead and take me home.
this with me. Bring all your failures. Bring all your failures. Bring your addictions. Come lay them down at the foot of the cross. Jesus is waiting there with open arms. For God so loved the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in Him will live forever. The power of hell forever defeated. Now it is well. I'm walking in freedom. For God so loved, yeah, God so loved the world. Say praise God.
Praise God, from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him for the wonders of His love.
Praise God. Praise God. From whom all blessings flow. Praise Him. Praise Him for the wonders of His love. God so loved, for God so loved the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save us. For God so loved the world that He gave us His one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in Him will live forever. The power of hell forever defeated. Now it is well. I'm walking in freedom. For God so loved, yeah, God so loved the world. Bring all your failures. Bring all your failures. Bring your addictions. Come lay them down at the foot of the cross. Jesus is waiting. God so loved the world. All right, you guys gonna have a seat?
Hi, everybody. What's going on? Woo! All right. Hi, Fran.
Is this on? Oh,
It's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Cool. Are you guys ready to play a game? Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Love the enthusiasm. We have a great game.
Today we're playing a detective game.
It's called
Ooh.
Sherlock. Sherlock Holmes. Anybody? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Exactly. So for this game, I can explain the rules and then we'll split into our groups. So it's a group game. You'll be splitting into your small groups. So for instance, if you are in 9th grade and a girl, you will get in your group of 9th grade girls. So there's going to be a little bit of shuffling in the beginning as you all find your groups. And then you guys are all going to designate one person in your group to be the detective.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
Maybe someone that pays attention to details, or if you like to lose, maybe someone that doesn't. And then you're going to have everybody in the circle just stand there like normal, do your thing, have that person like study all of you for 10 seconds, everything about you, and then all of the detectives are going to leave the room for about a minute, maybe through those doors in that little area next to the bathroom. Okay, yes. And then after that, they're going to come back, and you guys will have changed something about someone. So maybe if I'm wearing a hat, I would have given that to my neighbor. And so when the detective comes back, they have to be like, you changed. You aren't wearing a hat. He's wearing a hat. And then I'd be it as the detective next round. Does that make sense? Okay, get creative with it.
You guys
I'm super
could change
excited.
name tags too.
Ooh, name tags. That will really test your friends to see if they actually know your name.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
All right.
Yeah. So if everybody wants to stand up and find your small group and divide into those little circles.
Okay,
Go.
9th and 10th graders over there, 11th and 12th grade over there. Yeah. 9th and 10th over there, 11 to 12th over there. Gonna play some Sherlock Holmes. All right.
This is such a good bonding activity. I like that it's small group divided. How does their seat go? If you're still sitting in your seat,
You guys gotta get up and play the game. It's gonna be really, really fun.
it's an awesome group bonding activity.
Yes, we love group bonding. Woo! All right. Got some good-looking teams over here.
Oh, yeah.
Some strong-looking teams. All righty. So remember, you get in your group, you choose one person to be that detective, and then that person goes outside through the doors under the restroom sign, stand by the restroom for a minute, and then the group is going to have to try and change one detail. And then the detective comes back and tries to guess what it is.
Does everybody have their detective chosen now? Raise your hand if you don't have your detective chosen.
The other thing is if the person guesses, so the detective guesses what it is, the person that they picked out, they will be the next detective. So say over here that the glasses were something that was on another person, or you two traded glasses, let's say. And if the detective is able to point that out, then you would be the one to be the next detective. Make sense?
Yes.
You're welcome. All right, does everybody have their detective? Can I get a woohoo if you have your detective?
Perfect.
Awesome. Yes. All right, you have 10 seconds now, detectives, to go out the doors. You're going to follow Gary. He's waving over there.
Detectives can go out the door.
Goodbye, detectives.
You
We
got
will
your
see you
time.
soon.
Oh.
All right, so now you guys have your time to figure out.
Is it just one thing or multiple things?
Oh, it is one thing. You are changing one thing in your group. Only one.
So still crazy, but not too crazy.
Yes. Multiple things will be really crazy. It's like, I don't have that good of a memory, so I know. It's like, who's that new person? Okay, guys, no switching out members from small groups. I don't know if that was any of your guys' idea, but you're not allowed to switch members. You got to stay in your small groups.
You think it's been long enough? Has everybody changed something if we let those detectives back in?
All right. Do you
Thumbs
guys
up.
feel confident over here? Do you think the detective's going to guess? No? Ooh, okay.
Bring them in.
Bring in the detectives. Dun, dun, dun. All right, detectives, how you feeling? Are you confident? Not confident? No. Oh, no. I don't get any confidence from any of them. Okay.
I don't know. A lot of them walked in looking kind of Sherlocky to me.
Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, it's the vibe, the
Who's
detective
another
vibe.
famous detective? I don't even.
All I know is Sherlock.
The Great Mouse
Doctor Who.
Detective. Oh.
Wait, who?
The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh.
And he's the doctor.
the Great Mouse Detective. That was fun.
So detectives.
Okay, you have your 10 seconds.
Yeah,
10
10
seconds starts now.
10.
Wait.
Oh.
Okay, and then they make their decision.
Yeah.
Okay. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.2. All right. 0. Detectives, make your guesses. I feel like it's harder in bigger groups. I just totally I know. Yeah.
Say, how did everyone do? Say a woo for good? No.
Yeah.
Okay. How'd everyone do? Can we get a woo for good and a for not good?
Oh, yeah. Woo! Good job. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to go see what their guess was.
Oh.
Okay, why'd you guys get a woo? Who wants to talk over here? What, did somebody guess over here? Okay. Oh, sorry, Rachel. Yes. Do you want to? You got.
I was a detective and she had glasses and I guessed it.
Oh.
Usually doesn't work.
Okay, good. Guess what? You are the new detective, Rachel. Ooh. Yes. Oh, you were the detective. Oh, you were the detective. All right, what did you guys do?
My group switched white Crocs.
So someone else.
2 of them are wearing white Crocs and they just switched the pairs. Don't know how I got it, but they're sneaky.
That is very smart. All right.
Over here, we did not get it, but it was pretty tough. They switched watches. So I guess we should specify, if you don't get it correct, just designate someone to be the next detective. You don't have to be detective again.
All righty. Pick your guys' next detective. They guessed right, then you become the detective. That's pretty cool. I've always wanted to be a detective. I don't think I'd be a really good one, though.
I don't pay enough attention to detail.
Okay, once you have your detectives, send them on out.
Get out of here, detectives.
All right. Try and figure out what you guys are changing, and then they'll come back in.
Are all the detectives out?
Guys over here, did you figure out your detective and send them out? Great, thank you.
Perfect. Their group just looks cute.
I know.
Some of these groups look like
The
combo
guys'
groups.
group's big. Okay, cool. How's life been?
Very busy.
Yeah, same.
That's exciting. He's been gone for like 3 weeks. And then on August 27th, he leaves for Coral Ray. So I'm like, oh. Yeah, but we're grabbing breakfast for lunch tomorrow. Actually, he like came back at 5:30, and then we had to come to student dinner or whatever.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I was like, how was it? He's like, it was literally life changing. I feel like my face was awakened like it's never
That's
been before.
awesome.
And so I was like, already like, oh my gosh.
All right, send them on in. I feel like my voice is
I don't. I'm like, ooh.
All right, detectives, how you feeling, detectives?
Ooh.
Confidence. All right, remember, 10 seconds to study the group, and then you make your guess.
Got
Good
some pretty
luck.
suspicious looking groups out here.
Yeah. That group over there looks really suspicious.
That's my group. They're laughing
I
a
know.
lot. You can tell we are not good liars.
Ooh. How you guys doing over here? Pretty confident? Gonna trick them?
What part of?
I don't know. We're arm wrestling.
Did you guys even get
We
it?
did. We did change something. We're just waiting for Garrett to figure it out.
This group is arm wrestling.
Oh, did you guys figure it out over here? Okay, what was it?
Badges.
Oh, switching name badges. Very nice. All right. So,
Are you guys?
okay, did anybody get their guess right? Anybody? No, nobody got their guess right. 9th grade girls got it right. Or maybe? Okay.
One more round.
One more. Okay, guys, we have one more round.
So pick your detective.
Pick your next detective, and we're going to do some Sherlock Holmes investigation skills. So, all right.
What?
Oh, that's good.
I like it.
That's good.
So this round is. Oh wait. Do we tell them before round?
I think we tell, like, the detective goes out, and then we tell them, because our giving them the answer. Okay, here. No, you just tell them. Okay.
So this round is going to be a little bit different. 3 people are going to change something, but you're going to change the same thing. So maybe all 3 people are going to switch shoes, or all 3 people are going to put their hair in a ponytail, or all 3 people
Switch hats. If
Yeah.
you have 3 people in a group with hats, maybe.
Yeah, but it's just a little more intense this round. So
Yes.
finale.
All right. Detectives.
Are all the
they
detectives out?
Think the detectives are out? Okay, we're going to give you a little bit more time for this round because it is a harder round.
Yeah, more complicated.
Yeah, more complicated. There's still arm wrestling over there.
I don't know what part of the game that is.
I don't know. Maybe they're the distraction
Yeah.
for the
Well, I did
detective.
answer, like, we already guessed. We're just arm wrestling now.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, okay, good.
Arm
time.
wrestling.
Passer.
Ooh. Are you good at arm wrestling?
I am not. I'm much better at thumb wrestling.
Oh, yeah. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Okay, 1, 2,
3, 4. I declare thumb war. 5, 6, 7, 8. This
Try
will
to
be.
keep your thumb
Oh, I thought this
straight.
will be a piece of cake.
Oh,
Okay.
I always say try to keep your
Okay.
thumb straight.
All right,
Well,
ready?
It's already a bad sign for us.
Okay. Oh, man. Okay. Whoa. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. Okay, detectives, come on in. Good job. That was a good
Okay,
round.
That was a good try. Like I said, I'm better at thumb wrestling than arm wrestling, and I'm not even good at thumb
Yeah,
wrestling.
it's all good.
So,
Okay, detectives. How you feeling? This round's a little harder. How are you feeling? You feeling good?
I feel
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
you can say it.
Okay. Yes. So this round, what we did is that there's 3 people in your group that changed the same thing, and you have to try and figure out what it is. So 3 people changed in your group to figure out what it is. Maybe it's they all changed their hat, or maybe it's something different. I don't know.
Maybe all of their socks are inside out now. You
Yeah?
really don't know.
Or maybe they all traded Crocs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Oh. That does not look like detective work over there. Oh, well. That's great detective work over there. All right. How you guys doing over here? Are you doing good? Good.
Who's our detective over here?
Okay, guys
You have a
over
guess?
here, did you get your guesses?
Yeah, we got them all right.
Uh-huh. Suspicious right there.
Great.
Okay, what were the guesses?
Braylon and Aiden switched hairs. So Braylon had orange hair, and then Grant also switched hairs with Aiden, so he also had red hair. But they haven't switched back yet.
Oh, you did?
That's great. Good job.
They switched glasses.
Oh, good job. All 3? Well,
Did you guys guess yours? All right. Who would like to talk? Microphone.
that's tricky, and she still got it.
It was bracelets.
Oh, very nice. Very smart. Good
You
job.
guys have a detective, and did she guess correctly? Oh, good work. I like it. Wait, actually, you must have hit.
Okay.
You must be really close to
Are we
detective
good?
jewelry. I'm-
Okay. So, everybody, let's get back to our seats. We're going to have a couple announcements, and then we're going to do worship again.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! Okay. So, let's do our first announcement. So, this Saturday, we are doing Day at the Cave. Who's all coming to that? Woo! Day at the Cave. So that's going to be super fun. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. We're going to leave from church and all go down to Kentucky, and you can do zip lining, high ropes, walking, train tour. Next announcement, we have Pack the Mac. Who's excited for Pack the Mac? Woo! Pack the Mac. So we're having our guest speaker and magician, John Michael Hinton. It is going to be Sunday, August 24th from 5 to 8 p.m. And we have a really cool video to get you guys super excited and hyped for it. So let's watch. Thank you. Okay, I have no idea how he did that. That bat was really cool. Really cool. So we're super excited. If some of you guys went to live and saw him, he's going to be here. It's going to be crazy, great, amazing. Okay, we have one last announcement, and it's awesome. Fall Retreat! Okay, this is really fun. So Fall Retreat, October 27th to the 30th. So we have 8 spots left to get the sweatpants. So we have 22 people signed up. Remember, the first 30 get the sweatpants. So if you want those sweatpants, you better sign up. All right, so everybody, let's stand up and we can do worship.
All right, y'all. We're going to jump back into worship, but before, I want to read a little brief scripture. This comes out of Genesis 18. This is God speaking to Abraham. Sorry, I can't talk. Speaking to Abraham. And at this point in Abraham's life, he's getting pretty old. In his whole life, he really wanted a son. But obviously, he was getting to a point where maybe that wasn't in the cards. He was getting a little too old for it. So that's where we pick up. Let's read. Then one of them said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son. Now Sarah was listening at the entrance to the tent, which was behind Abraham. Abraham and Sarah were already very old, and Sarah was past the age of childbearing. So Sarah laughed to herself as she thought, after I'm worn out, my husband Abraham and I are old. Will I now have this pleasure? And then the Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, will I really have a child now that I am old? Is there anything too hard for the Lord? I will return to you at the appointed time next year, and Sarah will have a son. So I get the sense when I read that there might be people in this room that the Lord has promised you something that feels and sounds so radically crazy. It feels so big. Maybe there's a problem or a situation in your life that you feel is so big. Like that would never happen. That's way too crazy. That'll never happen. That's probably how Abraham and Sarah felt. Is there anything too big or too hard for our Lord? The Lord wasn't too big Abraham's situation wasn't too big for the Lord. Neither was David's when he was staring in the face of Goliath. Neither was Paul and Silas when they were locked up in prison. And neither was Lazarus when he was dead in a grave. So as we sing these next 2 songs, we're going to sing in agreement with the Lord, with agreement with the Lord's promise, his promises for your life. There's nothing too big or too scary or too hard for our Lord. So as we sing, let's remind ourselves of that and agree with that in worship. Let's sing. You've done before in greater measure, you will do again. And there's no bruise in a wall you can't break through, no mountain you can move. All things are possible. There's no broken body you can't raise, no soul that you can't save. All things are possible. In the darkest night, you can light it up. You can light it up. Oh God of revival, let hope arise. The death is overcome. Yeah, you've already won. Oh God of revival, you rose in victory.
and now you're seated forever on your throne. So why should my heart fear? So why should my heart fear what you've defeated? I will trust in who you are. There's no bruising wall you can't break through, no mountain you can't move. All things are possible. There's no broken body you can't erase, no soul that you can't save. All things are possible. The darkest night, you can light it up. You can light it up. Oh God of revival, let hope arise. Death is overcome. Yeah, you've already won. Oh God of revival, God of revival, God of His promise, God of revival. He's good on His word. So come awake. Come awaken your people. Come awaken your city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Come awaken your people. Come awaken your city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. See the darkest night, the darkest night. Yeah, you can light it up. Yeah, you can light it up. Oh God of revival, let hope arise. Death is overcome. You've already won. Oh God of revival, God of revival. Whoa, whoa, God of revival. God of revival. So come awake. Come awaken your people. Come awaken your city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Come awaken your people. Come awaken this city. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out. Every stronghold will crumble. I hear the chains hit the ground. Oh God of revival, pour it out, pour it out.
stills my voice. You understand me. You understand me. And come to me in the valley of unknowns, 'cause you understand me. You understand me. You understand me, God. You understand me. doubts and fears don't scare you. You're bigger than I thought you. You're bigger than I thought. So I stop all negotiation with the God of all creation. You're bigger than I thought you. You're bigger than I thought you were.
God, we thank you that we can rest in you. Your arms are always wide open. So, Lord, some of us in the room may need rest. And I pray that you give it to us. We rest in you. God, we agree with your promises. We agree with the way you view us. We agree with who you say you are. You are a good God, and you deserve the highest praise. So we enthrone you in the highest place tonight. We thank you for who you are, what you've done, and what you're doing right now. In your name, amen. You guys can have a seat.
Man, you guys sounded great tonight. That was awesome. Give yourself a round of a hand. That was really good. I like that. I like watching you guys worshiping with you guys. All right, guys, we're in week 4 of Counterfeit. And we're talking about what it means to have our own real faith. Not a fake faith, but a real faith. You guys know I love movies and TV shows, right? Have I told you guys that before? Like a big Marvel fan, big Star Wars fan, big sports fan. So tonight we're going to talk about turning points in our life. We have big turning points. So I thought of some of my favorite characters. I'm a big Anakin Skywalker guy. I was Anakin Skywalker for like 4 years for Halloween. We got one Anakin Skywalker fan. Yeah. So he had like so many turning points in his life. Like his mom died, and then he had a vision that his wife was going to die, giving birth to their children. And then he had this like lust for power, so he turned into Darth Vader. And then, spoiler alert, for a movie that was made 40 years ago, he ended up becoming good again to save his son, right? Like, there was like a bunch of turning points in his life that led him to make the decisions he made. And then you've got someone like Killmonger from Black Panther. The new one is coming out soon, and I'm so excited for it. But his dad died at the hands of his own brother, and then he wanted revenge on Wakanda. That's a pretty big turning point, right? But then you go to a good turning point. Like, what about the Grinch? Like, he ended up, he was like mean and grumpy, and then how big did his heart grow? 2, 3, right? 3 sizes. Yeah, such a good story. He had a big turning point. And then Ebenezer Scrooge. I don't know why I was on the Christmas theme for the good ones, but Scrooge, he had the ghosts of the past, present, and future. And that was a big turning point. Now, you guys might not have like a ghost show up in your like dreams or in your life or whatever, but you guys are going to have turning points in your lives, right? You might have had some big turning points already. Maybe you haven't yet, and that's cool, but you're going to have some big turning points. Like my big turning points when I was in 8th grade, my parents got divorced, and I walked away from God. And then I went to college, and I got in trouble for doing a lot of stuff, and then I had another turning point. My coach sat me down and said, Caleb, if you don't stop what you're doing, if you get caught one more time doing the things that you're doing, you're gone from this campus, you're losing your tennis scholarship, you're off the team, you're done. You're not going to be at this college anymore. And that changed my life for the better. But I also have another turning point that happens every year. So, and it just happened this week, actually. I get sick, and I'm like a baby when it comes to getting sick. Like, I'm Charmin soft, wimpier than wimps, okay? My wife can, like, attest to it. I get a cold, and I'm, like, knocked out for a week. I can't do anything. I'm laying on the bed, okay? So I just had the stomach bug this week, and I have, like, 4 turning points every night. Like, when you get the stomach bug, it's the worst. I don't wish the stomach bug on like my worst enemy. So I get this stomach bug, and your stomach starts to feel like nauseous and you're queasy, and you're like, oh, here it comes. And so I start praying. I'm like, God, please don't make me get sick. I don't want to throw up. It's the worst. And then you're like, okay, it's really bad now. God, please make me throw up so I can get it out of my system and it's done. And then you start throwing up, and then you're like, okay, God, that's enough. I'm done. And then in that process, I just spit everywhere. I get angry. I'm like, God, why am I sick? Why do I keep getting sick? I get sick. I get the flu like every winter, and then I've had COVID twice this year and a stomach bug twice this year, so it feels like a never-ending cycle of getting sick. I'm like angry at God. God, why do I keep getting sick? Why is this sickness not ending? Why haven't you healed me from this? I know you can do it. And in that process, I'm having like all these turning points in my head where I could be so angry at God, or I could be like, God, why are you doing this to me? And it happens every time I get sick. Like my head is a crazy place when I get sick, okay? But we all have turning points. And so for you guys are about to head into a season where you might have some big turning points. Where are my ninth graders at? You might have a big turning point as you go into your high school, your first year of high school. That's huge. Seniors, you're about to go. Okay, I won't talk about that. You know where I was going with that, though. But then maybe you have some real things happen in your life. Your friend just got in an accident. Your aunt got sick. Your grandpa passed away. But then you made varsity. You got a new car. You're about to get a new job. You just aced that test. Maybe your parents got divorced like mine. Maybe you're struggling with a depression or an addiction. You're making new friends at school. You go with so many ups and downs and so many turning points. Have you guys felt that before? You're like, there's so much happening. There's so much going on. But here's the thing. Those turning points are so big in our walk with God and making it our real faith. Not a counterfeit faith, but a real faith. Those turning points are huge because you get two options when those times come. You get to go to God, or you get to go away from God. You get to strengthen your relationship, or you get to weaken your relationship. You get to run or go away from God in those times. So you get two choices, and they're hard choices sometimes. I ran from God for 6 or 7 years when I was your guys' age. I would not be seen at youth group. I ran. And I want to share a story with you guys from the Bible. Garrett actually mentioned it tonight. We're going to talk about the story of Lazarus. And I was texting my dad today. My dad's a pastor, and he said that like this Lazarus is like a huge story. It's 45 verses that we're going to go through in like 10 minutes. But my dad was like, "You're doing that in 10 minutes?" I would do an eight-week series on that. So there's so much, guys, that I'm going to try and run through as quick as I can. But it is such a cool story. So I want you guys to catch some important pieces. So I'm going to set this up for you guys, okay? So there's Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. And they're all very close with Jesus. Like they're friends, like close friends. Like all you guys sitting next to the people, you're like all friends, right? With the people you're sitting next to. That's great. I love that for you guys. That's how Jesus would have been sitting with those people at church. Okay, so we have Lazarus, Mary, and Martha. And Lazarus got very, very sick, like more than the stomach bug. And so in that time, they didn't have texts. Jesus was about 15 or 20 miles away. Mary and Martha and Lazarus were in a place called Bethany. And so Jesus is about 15, 20 miles away, which is like a day's worth of traveling. So think about like 15 or 20 miles walking in Jesus' sandals. Like, it's going to take you a while, okay? So they sent a messenger. And in that time, they had to pay a person to go and walk that way and find the person and tell them that message. They couldn't call up Jesus and be like, "Hey, you got to get here. Lazarus is sick." And when I say sick, Lazarus was like about to die. And so they sent this messenger that went a full day's worth of traveling to Jesus. And he said, "Jesus, this is the message for you from Mary and Martha. The one you love is sick." The one you love. Jesus knew that it was Lazarus because Lazarus was the one that Jesus loved. He didn't even need to know his name. And so what did Jesus do? Do you think Jesus was like, "Oh, let me heal him real quick. Like, all right, he's done. He's good." No. Jesus didn't get on like a horse or whatever and go and like be a Prince Charming and save the day. That's not what happened. Instead, Jesus waited 2 more days before traveling to go see Lazarus. And Mary and Martha knew that Jesus could perform miracles. They knew that he could heal the blind. There was a Roman officer, a centurion is what he was called. And he came to Jesus at one point and said, "Hey, my servant is like super ill. You need to come and save him." And Jesus was like, "Oh, it's done. I see your faith. It's done." He didn't even need to be by that servant. So they knew that Jesus could do this. But Jesus waited 2 more days before making his journey. So Jesus finally got up and went to Bethany to see Mary and Martha. And by that time, Lazarus was dead. His friend had passed away, and Jesus didn't do anything about it. And so this is what Martha's response is to Jesus. And Martha is that friend. Do you have a friend who like says what's on your mind, but you don't want to say it because it's kind of mean or it's crazy? Like Martha said the things that everyone else thought. We all have that like crazy